Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we have a Fun Factor episode of Little Nightmares 2. Now if you don't know what Fun Factor is, it's kind of my review but not really of the game. I give no scores, there will be no story spoilers, and it's just me giving my opinions of the game, and you can take your thoughts about it with it and maybe have an opinion of whether or not getting the game is meant for you. Now the first subject we'll be talking about is the story. Now a lot of people might think the game is a horror slash scary game, and in my opinion it's not. It's what I would call horror themed. And now what I mean by that is when you think of a horror game, you think of jump scares. Now this game has like the thematic view, like it makes you feel tension, but it's never really scaring you. It does have your heart pumping and tension of, oh, is there a bad guy right there? Oh, is there out a boss? Who knows what's around the corner? But it never really jump scares you or purposely tries to scare you. A part of the story I would say is the rooms. The rooms are kind of telling you a whole background into the whole lore of the game, and each room really feels handcrafted to have like a purpose. Even the smaller rooms that you don't think would come up in all these YouTube conspiracy videos on what it could mean. The duo of the main character from the first game and the new character makes you feel a little bit of hopelessness in this dark world of mystery, and later you do see that friendship going places up and down, and then the bosses are really well made, or even cooler than the first one in my opinion, and the combat and puzzles with them are more interactive, I feel like. And that leads to our next subject, because the bosses do have to do with gameplay, is gameplay. Now the gameplay is super similar to the first one. If you don't know anything about the first one, it's basically a platformer to its core, with a few moments of you kind of running around, but not any real combat. Now they do add combat in the new one, kind of giving your character an ability to carry like an axe or a pipe and hit different types of creatures. Now my only problem with that is there's a few times where the combat feels just kind of unfair. You'll be fighting 5 enemies, you kill 4, and the 5th one just gets you, and then you just get stuck repeating that whole thing over and over again. This did happen to me a few times. Gave the remote to my friend who was playing with me also, and the exact same thing was happening to him. Now that can be just contributed to us being really bad at the game, but again, the game was pretty fun still, even with that in mind. Another, I guess, con you can say is there's moments where the game kind of just purposely kills you and you wouldn't have noticed until you've already been killed from it. For example, you kind of walk forward and you step on a plank that's slightly like above the other planks, and a bucket just hums and hits you and kills you. Now the first time it happens, you don't expect it. Now you know to expect it from the feature on, but sometimes you just forget and then it just kills you and you get frustrated, and there's a few other traps like that that are kind of annoying. Now there's other traps where it's more obvious and you're like, okay, I can see that, I know how to prevent that. And then I guess the last one we'll be talking about is graphics slash performance. Now I ran this off a laptop with the 1050 Ti, just a curiosity, and we played 80% of the game with that 1050 Ti at 1080p. We got around 40 FPS on high graphics, which was really surprising. Now the rest of the game was on a 1060 and 1440p, and we were getting around 60 FPS on ultra. So pretty good performance in my opinion. If a 1060 can do it in 1440p, and so if you have a lower end PC, you won't have much to worry about. Now the graphics are really beautiful. It's a huge upgrade from the first game. I didn't think the first game could look any better after playing it recently, like literally 2 weeks ago. Now it is disappointing this game has no HDR support, so I can't tell you if the HDR in my opinion is pretty good or well looking. It also has no ray tracing. It's no surprise, the game is a smaller game budget and probably didn't have the budget for ray tracing. There is no next gen game also, so you would be playing this game in backwards compatibility mode. I did try the demo on the PS5 and it did run in 30 FPS. I don't know if they changed it since then, but that is something to be worried about. Now this is the end credits of the Fun Factor episode. The game does run about $30, so and it takes about 4 to 5 hours according to how long to beat it. I beat it in about 6 hours, but I'm also not very good at platformers, so If you're just kind of okay at video games, it'll probably take you about 6 hours for that $30 of game. I found it really fun though. It was really interesting. I do like the whole mystery of the background of the game and you kind of trying to solve it yourself of what the world of Little Nightmares is and what is that and what is this and what could this mean something from the first game. And it kind of leads you on that whole conspiracy videos or game theories on YouTube about Little Nightmares, and it's actually pretty entertaining to go back, watch it, check the subreddit, and be like, oh, maybe this means this, and this could mean that, and this leads all around, and leads to cool, like, background lore that you can kind of see building up by the community. And the game's purposely left open like that because the creator himself doesn't want there to be like a definitive thing, so he kind of leaves hints and clues for the community themselves to kind of make up their own mind about the world and lore about the game. So that's it for Fun Factor. If you guys like this and want more content, I do reviews, gameplays, and highlights that come up on this channel. If you're interested, consider subscribing, hit that like button, and if you got any other games that you're interested in me trying, just throw it in the comments. I'm down for trying some older games, newer games that'll come out in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye.